Welcome to the third annual. What do we call it? The third annual Thanksgiving Day leftovers show.
Yum 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 yum.
Nom. How well did your leftovers make it?
Well, if it hadn't been that we had 3 dinners, I probably would have fared with none. But because we had 3 dinners, 2 on Thursday and 1 on Friday, I actually do have some leftovers.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's funny because the leftovers I wish that I would have saved were not from Thanksgiving. They were from Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Friday, my mom was away. She goes to her younger brothers for Thanksgiving every year, and she comes back on Friday. Well, Saturday, my youngest brother and his 3 kids came up with his wife, and we had like a cookie, and it was doing decorations day. As you see, all my decorations are up. So
nice.
And Saturday night, my mom decided to make pizza like the pizzerias we had back east. And we called it the Old Forge pizza, right? And it's a square pizza, all right, done in a little thicker crust. And it is so good. I mean, it is just so good. And I'm going to tell you, with all of everyone here, no pieces survived. They were all eliminated. Yeah. Nobody got voted off the island. They all got eaten. So, but Thanksgiving Day leftovers, we managed to save quite a bit, and we had a pretty active day. All 3 of our kids were here. Everybody brought something. All right. The youngest, his in-laws came by after they had to go to work because they work at a restaurant, but they came by afterwards. Even my son's sister-in-law, all right, who was, his wife's younger sister or older sister. I think she's the older. I don't know. Anyway, she came by later in the day too, and had some fun times with them. But anyway, we have some leftovers. I was able to put together a smorgasbord-looking plate, if you will. Nice. Right. Let's see if we can use the knife for pointing skills. Noah, all right, brought some ham. I did the smoked turkey. I have some of my smoked sausage.
Nice.
My stovetop stuffing, some potatoes. Ugh. These were a meatball, like a turkey meatball that they did. It had like a cranberry gravy onto it.
Ooh, okay.
A homemade gravy, some bacon wrapped sweet potatoes.
Oh, yum.
Really good there. All right. And I have 1 deviled egg left. Kind of squished, right? And this is my smoked mac and cheese, which you put it in a container and run it in the smoker for about an hour, right? You make it like you make the macaroni and cheese, but then you put crumbles on top and you put it in the smoker, all right, with the same apple wood that was smoking our turkey done in that. So, and then, we have 1 of these left. These are our chocolate souffle desserts. They are a little runnier than normal, but if you stir them in and stir the tangerines in with them, and then eat the tangerines, they're really good.
Yum.
So, and some things that didn't fit that were left in the bottom of the tray, I just left it here. So
there you go. So what I have is turkey with mashed potatoes. This is a cauliflower bake. It's got Velveeta cheese on top. But so the way you make this is that you steam the cauliflower, then you mix it with mayo. You put it in a bake dish, and then you cover it with Velveeta, and you bake it until it's nice and brown. Green beans, these have butter and olive oil. Then it's topped with pimentos and salt, pepper, and
it's silent button.
The gardeners are here. They're always here in the morning. I don't know why they're here at this time. So, and then my stuffing. So this is truly stuffing. My bird does not have any bread, and so this is my mama's family recipe.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Ground beef. I actually also added some ground sausage to make it a little different. Sometimes I do half ground beef, ground pork. This time it was 3 pounds of ground beef and 1 pound of ground sausage. Give it a little something, something. It has carrots, celery, green onions, black olives, green olives, capers, celery, and then it's supposed to be red delicious apples, but I cannot find them anymore. So I used like pink ladies or something like that in there. Everything gets cooked, the meat gets cooked, and then the veggies get steamed, and then it gets mixed, and then the bird gets stuffed. So this was the bird. We did have smoked turkey and smoked pork on Thursday, and then another type of bird with the dressing on the side. So this was from Friday's meal. And then the other thing that I brought from Thursday was it's like this little pumpkin bread that Sean's mom's friend made. She made another cranberry that was absolutely delicious that has this drizzle of orange. It's an orange drizzle. It is absolutely delicious. I apparently couldn't find that any leftovers of that. And then there was some leftovers of this grape salad that is absolutely delicious with sour cream and cream cheese with grapes, and it is so yummy. And that I don't think there was any left of that, but I did happen to have this. And then the other thing that I happen to have is a couple of rolls. So this one, because I did the rolls because I thought, well, I did do little sliders. So essentially a turkey sandwich, but I forgot my mayo. So I'm not going to make a sandwich out of it because I forgot the mayo, but this is something that I love to have rolls with it. So that's what I have. And then I have 3 options in drinks. I might make 2 out of the 3. Oh,
I'm going to talk about our drink that we did. I was worried with so many people coming over, and my fears were they didn't happen. So anyway, but I had 2 bottles of Bloody Mary mix that I had gotten locally because we have not gotten restocked from our Mary's mixers. And I was like, well, let me go to the grocery store and grab another bottle while I was there on my run on Wednesday. Okay. Well, I found these cans, these Q cans.
Oh, yes, I've seen those.
With the Bloody Mary mix. And it's not really that spicy, so you add a little bit of like
you do your own thing.
A little bit of Tabasco to it, all right, gives it a little bit more spice, and add some salt and pepper to it, right? Not a lot on the salt, more on the pepper side, all right, to give it more of an accent. And it comes out to be a fairly decent Bloody Mary with good vodka. So I did have that to say, but tonight I just figured, since we're just we're going to enjoy dinner, basically, I was just going to enjoy me some Angel's Envy bourbon.
One of the things that I made, so I have a couple things. Well, I found this one, Woodbridge Sessions. It's a California blend, but this one it's from Robert Mondavi.
Okay.
And it's Robert Mondavi, of course, always wants to craft some delicious wines and blends, but this one offers lower calories, lower carbs, and a light body without sacrificing flavor. It has 80 calories per 5 ounces. So lower alcohol, 8% alcohol by volume. So I had to grab this, and I haven't tasted it. So this is one that I thought, well, this is going to be my go-to. But then
where'd you pick it up at?
Safeway or
the grocery store.
Yep. And one of the other things I had done, because there was 2 things I was going to do that I ended up not making. One of them was my rice pudding, which I love, but we had a huge pecan pie. So I ended up not making that because I thought, well, it's just going to be more dessert that we don't need for 7 people on Friday. But the other thing that I made was hot cocoa. And so the Mexican hot cocoa, I concentrated the chocolate, but I didn't add the milk. So what I did today is that I added the milk, and then I have the whipped cream that I can add to it. So that was that's what I thought. But then I wanted something warm. That's one of them. The other one was bee's knees. So I have my honey right in here to make bee's knees. But instead of using gin, I thought I would go with bourbon. So I went with Basil Hayden.
Basil Hayden, yes.
But I thought, you know what? I think that's a good idea to do something a little different, because bee's knees would be good with vodka or bourbon. So I thought, you know what? A bourbon just sounds warming to me, and that's what I wanted, something warming to go with this. So I thought this could be dessert. And then this could be the drink. So that's where I came up with that. So different options, right? Always got to make fun. So that's where I'm at with that. So let me.
So I'm still getting the apple wood in my turkey. I cook with mostly apple wood. Usually I'm a cherry wood guy for a lot.
Okay.
I did apple because a lot of things we did was apple sauce, apple pie, things like that. So I did apple. Apple wood burns quite a bit faster, just for the record.
Really? Okay.
Things that I learned this weekend. Yeah.
So did that, were you having to add more, or what was the biggest issue with it burning faster? Having to add more chips to it, wood chips? Okay.
Well, I'm actually burning chunks and charcoal in the smoker doing it. So charcoal runs your heat, but your wood gives it your flavor. So you put chunks of wood in there as well.
Okay.
But every now and then when I need to spike the temperature up a little bit, like you start to drop, I do have those smoker chips that you normally would put in a pan inside of like an electric smoker or something.
Okay.
And I'll just sprinkle them right on top of the fire, right? Kind of stick my hand in there with a glove on and across the fire. All right. And it flares it up really good.
Okay.
It's the first time to use apple wood, and I said it burned pretty quick, but I was still able, because I was outside, I was able to keep it maintained and still cook the entire turkey in 3.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, I'm going to try to make my drink here with the honey. I know I have there it is. 1 ounce of the honey. And this is supposed to be, it's a 1-to-1 ratio of honey and hot water. So it's supposed to be 1/4 of a cup. I did not do that much of it, but 1/4 of a cup should make 8 drinks. I did not make that much because I'm like, I don't need 8 drinks. So, and then it's 1 ounce of the honey syrup, and 1 ounce of lemon juice, and 2 ounces of what's normally supposed to be gin, but I'm opting for bourbon, and you can also do vodka. So you have options of what you can do. And then you can use a little flower or lemon twist, whatever it is that you want to garnish it with. I've never had a bee's knees before.
Okay.
And shout out and thank you. I know it's a little bit early for shout outs, but I don't want to forget. Black Bear Diner, they're the ones who gave me the honey because I realized I had no honey here. And I happened to see the owner, and I was like, as I was chatting with her outside, because I'm doggy sitting this little pup here, and so he was all happy to see her. I said, "Do you have any honey?" She goes, "Yeah, come on over." So, cheers to Black Bear Diner. Thank you so much for the honey for my bee's knees. Ooh, oh wow, very lemony. I think I would probably put a little bit more of my honey syrup in there because it's very lemony. And you can always add, depending on how you like things, if you like them a little bit sweeter, you can always add simple syrup, if you want to do that. Oh my goodness, that's pretty yummy. I'm going to move this out of the way because I want a picture with my Basil Hayden and food. in the back because that's always fun. Ooh, and would you show me your food, please?
I've eaten it. I was hungry.
There you go. Very cool. Thank you. Yeah, no kidding. So we shall see how this all fares together. What was so did this turkey have a different flavor than your previous turkeys based on using different wood chips?
Yeah, I also did it in a what do they call that? I put it in a brine for 24 hours, almost 24. It was like 18 hours before I did. I was making my brine on Wednesday while talking to clients on a Zoom call. And I'm like, hold on a second. I'm like, what? I've got to go take my brine off the burner. My whole house smelled like apple cider. Like I was making an apple cider whiskey. But I soaked it in that about 18 hours. Okay. And then pull it out of that. I put a poultry rub on top of it.
Okay. No.
All right. Kind of brown sugar.
That was after you brined it?
After I brined it. Yeah. And it very light, not heavy, very light. Brown sugar, salt, pepper, a little bit of chipotle, some smoked paprika. All right. And something else I put on there. What the hell else was in that thing? Oh, something else in that rub, and I can't remember what it was. But it was designed to be a sweet barbecue rub. But on top of it, but very lightly, not like dusted the skin. And if you see my pictures on Instagram, which I could probably bring it up and show it again, but my Instagram picture was very, very by the first hour and a half, it had a dark skin. So which is I never any fowl I do other than turkey or chicken in my smoker because they all have a tough skin. I don't care about the skin. I just leave the skin on, and I very, very rarely eat the skin because it's too tough. But I use that. The skin gets brown, blackish, right? But the meat doesn't. Yeah.
Right.
So, seeing if I can get. So there. Oh, wait a minute.
That looks like a tree.
I'm like, I don't care about what's new in photos. I just want to see my damn photos.
There you go. I will tell you somebody.
There is my turkey while it was being done.
Wow, look at that beautiful color.
Yeah. And that was probably about an hour and a half in.
Okay.
And then, of course, I had my oyster bar going.
Oh, yep. You go.
So.
Well, I had gotten criticized one time. Somebody had posted I was barbecuing some chicken legs and thighs, and the outside of the skin was pretty charred, but he's like, "Oh, that looks burnt," and they weren't burnt; they were just a little bit more, spots of the darker. But it was, and so I'm like, "Dude, do you even know how to barbecue?" And then multiple people said, "That's what you do. You keep the skin on to protect the chicken." And I guarantee you the chicken she has is going to be moist and delicious, and she's going to not eat the skin, but you need it to protect it.
Yep.
It's like he's clueless. I'm like, have you ever barbecued? It's just this mama stuffing is so yummy. I so love it. The Velveeta on the cauliflower is just a little different for me. I'm not used to Velveeta.
Yeah.
But Sean's sister actually made that for home ec when she was in high school. Brought in a family recipe and made it for the class. They seem to have loved it.
The chocolate mousse is still good 4 days later.
Well, of course.
It's chocolate mousse. Come on. So my son brought some ham up. Really, really good. Really good. Him and his girl Ann, Noah and Ann, they brought the ham. Oh my God, it's so good. I've eaten more pieces of this ham than I've eaten in my turkey.
Mm.
You know, and leftovers. Yeah.
Did they make it or did they buy it made?
I think they bought it and just cooked it.
Mm.
Which, even the smoker, I've done an uncured ham and put it in the smoker for a couple hours.
Uh-huh.
So much better to smoke it yourself. You know what I mean?
I've never had a smoker, so I've never actually smoked anything, but boy, do I love that smoky flavor on the food and in drinks. Oh my goodness, when you get a smoked old fashioned, oh, that's so yummy.
I almost, because I had a piece of skin on the turkey, I almost took that piece of skin and put it in my bourbon.
Oh.
Almost did it, but I didn't quite. Anyway.
Almost like bacon.
Yeah. I will say this when doing the smoker, if you don't have a smoker, some of the ways to get, when you have a grill, some of the ways to get that smoked taste is you buy those chips.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You take a piece of tin foil and you make a boat out of tin foil.
Okay.
All right. You take the chips and you can soak them, all right, ahead of time, or you can put them in directly, and you put them not directly over the fire, but to the side of the fire inside your grill. And the heat in there will grab those chips and burn them and cause it to smoke. Thus putting the flavor inside the grill of a smoked thing. So that is a trick I always did when I was down in the condo and I only had the grill.
Okay. I love that idea.
Mm-hmm. That's how I did my ribs, I think, mostly.
Okay. Oh, wow. And you still, now, do you notice a huge difference with now that you have a smoker, you know, with especially something like ribs, or is it just easier to work with a smoker?
Well, yes, it's easier to work with the smoker, but the smoker was a learning curve for me because I'd never done it. Well, there's other things that I want to get for my outdoor kitchen. One of them is a pizza oven, but the more that I research a pizza oven, the more I realize the amount of work that goes into making a pizza with it.
And you have to keep an eye on it. And
yeah, because a pizza fire is a heavy temp, a high temp. So you really you have to work real wood in there to get to a high temp. I think if I do get a pizza oven, I'm gonna have a gas component to it.
Okay.
All right, to actually make it to heat the stone up to make it. So
I got it. So your current smoker, is that one propane or is it charcoal or?
Oh, it's real wood and charcoal. So I have it has a box onto it that you put real wood in there to start a fire and charcoal and yeah, you got to build a fire just like building a campfire in the old days.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's off to the side from where the cooking chamber is.
Okay. Very nice. Do you do to your, because it's your stovetop, right? That you use your stuffing, well, the dressing that you have on the side. Do you just follow the box directions or do you doctor it up and do something different?
I took all the giblets and stuff, put into it, but I didn't do it. Gwen did it. And I think she just did it on the stove. So some of the things that are nice to add to it, like I love a stovetop, but you add the giblets to it. Have a good, maybe add some gravy to it. You can add some nuts to it.
Okay.
Things like that will really enhance it. So, matter of fact, I'm eating pieces of the giblets now.
Num num num.
Mm-hmm. She cooks them up and then puts them in it later, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
The one thing I found in the refrigerator today that didn't get cooked was the turkey neck.
Oh, I usually shove that at the bottom of the turkey, and that way it cooks with the turkey, and then it just falls apart.
Yeah. I didn't stuff my bird. You know what I mean? I've never tried doing the stuffing of the bird. I had one guy I was talking to at one of my networking groups that we went to on Friday. And he's talking about, one of the ways he does it is he spatchcocks the bird.
Okay.
We do that with chickens on the grill all the time.
Okay.
I mean, just it cooks them even more evenly and faster.
Right.
Right. And
I think you had mentioned, I think you had mentioned that on one of the podcasts that's your trick too.
That is Gwen's trick. Gwen learned that trick. I didn't.
Okay.
When we had the power outage here a couple of years ago, when we had that ice storm come through,
right,
and we were out of power for the few days, we learned tricks with that. All right, to cooking Cornish hens real quick, and that is, I remember one of the days that we got power on, and Gwen's out getting something, and I call her. I go, "We got power," and she said, "Turn the oven on as high as you can get it on, and throw the birds in there. Throw 3 of those birds in there real quick." And basically, because they were thawed, all right, refrigerator, we threw them in there and cooked them. And sure enough, we had about an hour and a half worth of power. We pulled them out; they were done. You know what I mean? And now we had food, for the next day.
Nice.
By chopping them up into pieces, yeah. But anyway.
So with the hot cocoa and the milk, you always get that one little layer at the top, of the milk. So I always like to mix it in there so that it blends so it's probably not going to be as warm as it was a little bit ago. And of course, I'm making a mess because. Oh gosh, but that is yummy. So this is the hot cocoa. It's a special hot cocoa now.
Real
because
milk?
Real milk. It's I did 2% milk, lactose-free milk in this case because that's what I had at the house. So, but whole milk is the best to make it nice and rich. But you can always go 2%. I don't like going down to 1% or non-fat. It's like the lowest I go is 2%. But 2% or whole fat, or you can really use any milk you like. Here it's the 2% Dairy Gold lactose free. It's the fit kind. So what I did is that because I should have brought the jar. I had the hot cocoa in a jar that I had melted the abuelita's chocolate with cinnamon in water. So once all of that was melted all the way down, I let it boil. Then that's when I let it cool. But when I realized I wasn't going to make it, then I put it in the jar and let it finish cooling off, and I put it in the fridge. So then I still have quite a bit left. So I just added, I heated up the milk and the hot cocoa and to my liking. And then what makes it special was, in this case, Basil Hayden made it into special hot cocoa. And then, of course, I'm going to put you can put marshmallows in there or heavy whipping cream.
Heavy whipping cream every time.
And of course, I did it in this instead of a mug because I want y'all to see it. So that's kind of part of the fun, is to have, your whipping cream there and your hot cocoa and make it special. So that's my special hot cocoa, y'all. Is always adding a little bit of alcohol to it. So that's my my way of making special hot cocoa. So cheers.
Cheers. Once you're done your Thanksgiving dinner, do you have an after dinner drink?
No, not usually, because I'm usually busy cleaning. I had folks helping me clean up, but I'm like, go, 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 that I forget. And so then I don't.
I usually pass out after Thanksgiving dinner on the couch for 2 hours or so, or an hour. And I wake up to the fact that my kids cleaned up for me. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, if you cook, you shouldn't have to clean. I did add a little bit of real butter. It was Tillamook butter. Oh, no. This is my Land O'Lakes butter to my pumpkin spice. And so I added a little bit of butter to that. But this is my after dinner drink, because that's my dessert is special hot cocoa. So if I have something like this, that's what I'm adding. I'm adding a little bit of bourbon or whiskey to my hot cocoa.
Mm.
I didn't have any on Friday. Oh, actually, I might have. If not, it was Saturday.
So Friday for us, Gwen just she felt, she didn't have a fever, but she kept feeling like, you know what I mean, worn down. All right. She thought she was sick, but she really didn't feel sick. Right? Type like sinus crap in and out. And Friday just wiped her out. We had like a busy day with all the kids with everybody on Thursday. Then we took Friday and relaxed. Saturday, my brother's up here with his kids. Which of course we worked all day, of course, doing all Sunday. Kind of closed up everything with this decorations getting done and fine-tuned a couple things and relaxed. So
well, I worked on Thursday morning for about 3.5 hours.
Did you on your cooking or
like work?
Really?
On Wednesday, I worked until about 6:30, and the only reason I stopped was because I was starving. And I'm like, I need to make some dinner because I'm starving. And so I stopped. I was at a stopping point. I just didn't do some of the things that I like to finish off. And so I said, I'll do that later. And so then I finished it off on Thursday morning and then got some other work done. And so I worked 3.5, maybe 4 hours at most, took care of that. But then on Friday, I was so busy cooking that I really didn't have time to respond to anything. So, but then I worked most of all of from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. on Saturday.
Okay.
And then I did a little bit of work on the laptop on trying to catch up on stuff on Sunday.
Yep. So how about pies? What pies did you guys have?
Pecan.
So we had a pecan pie. I'm not a pecan pie guy, but we had one. I think she had chess pie. We had sweet potato, pumpkin, apple, and cherry was the other one. I love the cherry. Cherry is one of my favorite pies. Love the pumpkin. It was really, really good pumpkin this year. My daughter made one awesome apple pie that literally it did not make it to Thursday night. It was gone Thursday night. Yeah, it was a good pie. So
was it bought or did she make it?
No, she made it. She sliced the apples up. We made the crust up. All right. She made made the filling to go around the apples, everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was literally just did a really, really good job. 100% homemade pie. Nice. Yeah, so
I'm not much of a baker, and apple pie is one that I want to make, or an apple tort, but I'm like, am I just going to screw it up? Put all this effort, because I don't enjoy baking because everything is so precise. And if you're slightly off, it's just way off. And I remember many years ago when I was, I don't know, 12, 13, maybe 14 years old, somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere around there. My aunt and I, we made carrot cake. So we made a carrot cake, and do we have everything? Made the cake, and it came out and it looked beautiful. So it's like, oh, and it cooled down. We sliced into it because it was a loaf, and it was like, actually, I don't think we wanted to make a loaf. We didn't have a loaf pan, so we just used the a cheap pan, if you will. And then my aunt was like, or something's missing, but she couldn't, for whatever reason, couldn't figure out what was missing. So sliced into it. I took a bite. And as soon as I took a bite, I'm like, sugar? And she's like, yes. completely forgot the sugar.
Oh,
So what we did is that we just drizzled it with honey.
yes.
And so that made up for it. So the next time we made carrot cake, before we even started shredding the carrots, we brought out the sugar first.
Yeah, yeah. Learn from previous mistakes.
We will never again forget the sugar. But yeah, that was like the funniest thing, that it was like I took a bite and I knew, I'm like, sugar?
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was hilarious. Good times, good times. The memories that we keep, because they're just fun to keep. Mm. But I do like my special hot cocoa. This is really yummy because you have that rich chocolate, because it's a dark chocolate. And there's cinnamon in there. So if you have a star anise, then you can throw that in there too. But most of the time I forget to buy it. So I usually don't have it in my pantry, but I always have cinnamon. So that one
Like
disc.
real cinnamon that you ground, or ground cinnamon?
No, cinnamon stick.
Cinnamon stick, yeah.
I usually throw a couple of cinnamon sticks in there, sometimes 3, depends on how intense I want that cinnamon to be. And so as the water's boiling with the chocolate, you got the cinnamon in there and it's just going and doing its thing. And when all of that is done, then you add the milk to it. And so then, of course, then you let that boil and then you simmer to really get the chocolate and the cinnamon into the milk. And it just tastes absolutely delicious. The star anise just gives it a little bit of that added little flavor in there, not exactly licorice flavor, but just a little something, gives it a little kick. The other thing that I will sometimes do, that I do with my brownies, when I do make brownies, is I'll sometimes add a little bit of chili pepper or chili ground powder. Just a little bit, not enough to make it spicy, but just enough for folks to go, there's something in there and I don't know what it is.
There's something different that's making this pop in my mouth. That's exactly what chili powder does in the chocolate. Yeah.
So I've done that in brownies and I've done that in my hot cocoa, and it's not a lot. It's just a little dash, and it just gives it a little something. And then of course, then you add your bourbon or your whiskey, and it just adds a little bit, another layer of yumminess to my special hot cocoa. So whenever you hear me say a special hot cocoa or special coffee, now you know what's in it. Something other than hot cocoa and coffee.
Exactly. So yeah, and it just, you know what I mean? The only thing we had, I don't think we opened quite a bit of wine, right? That we went with dinner. We had Cooper and Thief, cup of Cooper and Thieves we had.
Okay.
We didn't do hardly any champagne opening. I thought we would. We didn't.
Okay.
Of course, we always have bottles of champagne or sparkling wine.
Yeah, that's what I did Friday, was sparkling wine is what I served. One of them was the Martinelli's has this new, well, they now have various flavors, but one of them I hadn't seen. It's a blush or a rosé, however you want to call it. And it's the apples with cherry. And so it's got that blush color in it, which is really good. And then, of course, I had the regular Martinelli's. I had mimosas because, of course, that's what we had. And I had the leftover sparkling. So that was for Friday morning, as I was cooking. I had my mimosa next to me. Whenever I would take a slight break, it's like take a couple sips of my mimosa. That did not make it to dinner. And then we had a Loro for dinner on Friday, but I did take a bottle of California Chardonnay to Sean's mom, and then it was an Oregon Chardonnay to Sean's niece.
Okay.
And I actually liked the California Chardonnay better than the Oregon. And normally I prefer Oregon because Oregon, for the most part, makes the Chardonnay in stainless steel versus oak. Well, the California one didn't taste oaky. It wasn't that buttery oak flavor to it. It just was a yummy flavor. And that's what we had for first dinner, and then second dinner was the Oregon Chardonnay, which I was like going, I'm glad we took the other Chardonnay, because I was like, I want back to that one. I didn't care for the Oregon one. Yeah. I can't even remember the brand it was, but it's like going, hey, it's on sale. Let's try something new. I didn't care for it. But we did have a reserve Pinot Noir for dinner on Friday. from a local winery here in Oregon, in Sherwood to be exact. So that was kind of fun.
Cool.
But that's all we really had. We didn't have anything, we didn't have time. It was just go, 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 do the thing. That we just kept it as easy as we could. We had shrimp with cocktail sauce, some olive. Sean's mom made a clam dip and chips. So that's what was appetizer, and then dinner. And then, of course, pecan pie for dessert.
Cool. Did you make your own whipped cream?
No. We didn't have whipped cream with anything on Thursday or Friday. And then because of the last time I used it, I still had this leftover Lucerne heavy cream, whipped cream. But I do love to make my own heavy whipping cream. I use my bullet with the flat blade that makes the whipping cream. Or I also have this the canister that has the little chargers that you put in there. Yeah. The problem is that there's always too much whipping cream to the charger, and then if you change the charger, then the moment if you continue to use it, if it's only halfway and you're out of the whipping cream, then you're wasting the rest of the charger. So it's like it takes about 1.5 chargers for the canister, which is kind of silly.
You have to get a different one, and you have to learn the right ratio.
I'm like, that was a waste of and I had been given the chargers, so that was a good thing because those things are darn expensive. But it just using my bullet is perfect, but it doesn't. You can't do the little the pretty swirlies on top. That's the problem with that.
Wow.
Unless you put it into a baggie and use the little star tips. But then you're now using one more bag, one more thing to do. Just from messy to messier.
True. So,
and then it's me, so I'm gonna make a mess of everything. It's like
cool.
Oh.
Well, we're coming up on quarter of the hour. So before we go, we have to do everybody says this is our annual thing every year. We're going to do Thanksgiving leftovers. We're just going to talk about what we ate for Thanksgiving, what we had to drink for Thanksgiving. All right. And the times we shared. We will be doing this again, this exact same show again next November. So we're going to make this our 3rd year of doing it.
Yep.
Decided to make it an annual show. So
only we have different drinks. That's the thing, is that each year we've had different drinks.
Each year we have different drinks. That's it. You know what I mean? And each year you're into different things for your recipes. For your, you know what I mean? You're always doing something different for your Thanksgiving. And that includes both your food, your drink, your desserts.
Yep.
So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. There's a few things this year that I didn't have last year. And I think actually last year there was ham. It wasn't turkey. I think that's what it was. So got to have fun with it, do different things, different recipes, different ideas, so have fun.
Yeah, this is my 2nd year to smoke a turkey. And, my cousin back east, Rich, he sent me pictures of him doing deep fryer. He was deep frying his. And I have a friend here who does the same thing. I've never done a deep fried turkey. I don't know as though I'm really into that, but I'm learning how to. I still don't think I have my idea for my turkey down right. I still think I need to practice more.
There you go. That's okay. I have a friend that deep fries his turkey, and it is absolutely delicious. Does a great job, and he's just so. He's been doing it for so long that it's just easy for him to do it. That it's like no big deal. He's outside in the front driveway, deep frying the turkey. He doesn't care. So it's pretty good. First time, actually, my brother has done a turkey on the barbecue, and then this time having a smoked turkey. So trying different things, it's kind of fun, and I'm okay with that. Try different things, enjoy. And what is it? What does it taste like? And one year, I remember my brother said, "I don't want turkey. I want Guatemalan tamales." So we made tamales that year. That's what he wanted. And so that's what we did, and it was always a family thing. Everybody helped with something. So with tamales, the same thing. Everybody helped with something, and we still all got together and had dinner,
So, I mean, there is one thing that I wanted to try. I found a recipe for it this year, but we didn't do it. And that's for for leftovers. And that is taking tortillas, All right, putting butter on them. All right, take your stuffing or dressing mix, stovetop, and just take the butter side, put it in, and press it on your tortilla, and then fold it over a rack so it looks like a taco shell.
Oh, okay.
Then you add turkey inside. After you cook it, you add turkey inside of it. You add gravy inside of it. You put your stuffing, mashed potatoes. All right, maybe even some broccoli on top, and you have a Thanksgiving leftover turkey taco.
Love it.
And if we do this, I'll tell you, I'm going to try it. I'm probably going to try with chicken first, just saying,
Right.
because it looks like a neat idea that I've seen. So, yeah.
Very cool. I like that. Send me a picture. I'd love to see it.
That we'll probably make a show out of that one. But anyway,
oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, we do have to tell everybody about, as we're closing out the year of 2023, 2024 is going to be some exciting things because we've got a thing called the Insiders Club.
Yep.
Insiders. What is Insiders Club? What is Insiders Club, Gladys? I mean, come on. Should we tell them a little bit about Insiders Club?
Well, that means that they want to be inside, not outside. They'll have a seat at the table.
They know what we're drinking. Yeah, they know what. Wait a minute, they know what we're gonna be drinking.
They'll be privy to recipes and cocktails and events and.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine that. All right, to put it in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not part of the Insiders Club yet, all right, you do get our recipes. You do get our show plan. You get to know what we're doing ahead of time. All right, you get the plan when her and I make it. And in 2024, we may even allow you to come in on once or twice on the plan. So, yeah. Other than that, we do have some events. We do have some unique things. So tell them about some of the unique things you have planned.
So gin's about to be bottled. The label has been approved. Now it's just the bottling. I have to make time to go do the bottling. That would be something somebody on the Insiders Club will be sign you up. Yeah, that's right. Who's going to be invited to help me bottle that gin, and then who's going to be invited to bottle the whiskey in January. There's gin, whiskey, a rye, helping actually make a rye or make a whiskey, do part of the mash, and be invited to actually hands-on. That is kind of cool. Then you get to sign the little barrel. That's fun stuff. It's a lot of work. It's exhausting, but it is so much fun to be a part of it. Yeah. And it's in steps, so you get to be part of it. That's fun. So go to likethewayyouDrink.com and make sure you're 21 and over, and you can be a part of it. It's free to join. But if you do have to travel, travel's on you. But guess what? You get to come to the event with us. So that's on us to get you there, or not get you there, but get you inside and into the events.
It's like a mastermind for drinkers.
We get to learn how to do it better.
Yeah. We master the project. Yeah.
We'll teach you how to really like the way you drink.
Yeah, really. It's some unique things. All right. And we're going to have 2 events next year, two on location. So basically we're going to do something up in Oregon. All right. And something in Texas. We just don't know what the plans are, but you insiders, you will know, because that only information is only going to be revealed to the insiders. The rest of you aren't going to know about it.
So you got to join. It's free.
Yeah. It's free to join.
What are you waiting for?
All right. And every week this broadcast is brought to you every week, all right, by our businesses. All right. It's Gladys and I put our efforts into this. We've bankrolled this sucker. We bankroll the drinking. We bankroll the food. All right. It is the heart and soul of what we do. It's the fun part. We get to do a part of our businesses. All right. So we tell you each week a little bit about our businesses, just in case you want to get information from us. So as always, we start with the ladies. Ladies first.
Thank you, Tim. Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. I help employers attract and retain quality staff, and I get to do that through employee benefits. if you're a small business owner and you say, can I even afford it? Guess what? You probably can. There's 101 different ways that you can provide benefits to your employees where you can show them how much you care about them. And when you show them how much you care, guess what? They're going to take care of your clients, which means your clients are going to stay. They're going to keep coming back and they're going to refer more business to you. So take care of your staff. Your staff will take care of your clients or customers. So go to insurancedesignpros.com. On the upper left-hand corner, there is a white paper that you can do a download of the 101 employee benefits for all budgets. The book is coming. It's in process. It's at the publisher. It just needs to get fully out there and printed. So it's being worked on. And my book, The Health Insurance Secrets Revealed, that one is also being revamped and updated. And that will also be coming out at the same time. So who do you know that needs some guidance? I can help them. And if I can't, guess what? I know a broker who can. That's Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. And this is my co-host, Tim.
Hey guys, Tim Gillette. Simple Easy Websites is my company. We actually create websites using a template. That's right, template. So we can do 5 pages for you, get it up for you really fast, and get everything focused on your website so people will actually do what you want them to do when they come there. All right. Just because your budget's low does not mean you can't create a quality website. Very unofficially, check out simpleeasywebsites.com. All right, to see if we can put together a plan for you. Book a call with one of our people and actually go over what you got. Even if you want to review your website, just give us a call. Go through our planning tool that you can actually get on the phone with us. We'll put up a Zoom call. We'll look over your site, tell you where you can improve it, and you can give you some advice. If that's not that, hey, we're in the business of helping you, simple and easy. Anyway, my name's Tim Gillette, and this here podcast is Like the Way You Drink podcast. Episode 86, all right, is what we were just finishing up here. We'll be back next week with episode 87. We're creeping up on 90 real quick.
No, I know. I was thinking about that. And we'll be hitting 100 in the new year.
You know it. Yeah. So seems like just yesterday we were at episode 25.
Right. And we're excited about that. And we appreciate all you listeners for being here with us and sticking it out and, constantly wanting to know what else we have in store. So we appreciate you all for being here with us every week and listening in and trying. Hopefully you're trying some of the recipes that we are sharing.
Yep. So try it out. All right. Enjoy. All right. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. We will see you guys back here next week. All right. Until then, cheers.